Hello everyone, my name is Dave Manchenka and today I will be presenting about LEGO EV3 robotics. Now first let's start off by talking about EV3 robotics as a whole. There are many different robots to build in EV3. The LEGO Mindstorms EV3 Home Edition is the main app that's used for building instructions, and that's the software that's used to program the robot. You can also program the robot on the brick itself. And if you use the Home Edition app, you just have to upload the program from your from the PC to the brick. The robot that I will present today is called the Tracker. Now let's start off by talking about the key components and sensors in EV3. The first one is the large motor. The large motor helps the robot to move and turn. The medium motor helps the tools connected to the robot function smoothly. The color sensor has the ability to sense 7 colors. The infrared sensor, that's also known as the IR sensor, is the eye of the robot. It can measure the distance of the robot from another object, which makes it way more useful. The touch sensor can detect when it's pressed or released. The IR beacon is the remote control of the robot, but it only works when the IR sensor is plugged into the robot's brain. And last but not least, the most important component of EV3, the intelligent brick. The intelligent brick is the heart and brain of the robot. It has 4 ports for motors and 4 ports for sensors. The 4 ports for motors can connect all the motors like the large motor and the medium motor, and the 4 ports for sensors support connections for the sensors like the IR sensor and the color sensor. It also has an extra port. This extra port is labeled PC. That can be used using the USB cable. To take advantage of this, you just have to connect one end of the USB cable onto your PC with the software installed and programmed, and the other end to your intelligent brick. So when you connect this, it's way easier to upload your program from the Home Edition app to your robot. And if you don't have a USB or you don't want to use one, you can use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to connect your brick anytime. Programming the robot on the intelligent brick is also possible, which isn't very hard either. It's actually pretty easy. Now let's move on to talking about the Tracker. The Tracker is one of the most basic bots in EV3. It's basically just designed to move around and do other things. To make it do other things, the speciality it has, you just have to create a tool to make it do what you want. And then you just code that, you just program that tool and connect it to the medium motor, which is how you connect every single attachment. And then the robot does what you want. That makes it so much more interactive and interesting. And then that large motor, when it's programmed, it helps the robot to move and turn. And then the medium motor is very useful also because the medium motor has all the attachments for it that help you complete the 5 different missions in the Tracker, which we'll talk about later. And we also have the IR sensor and the color sensor. These 2 sensors are usually just used for the enhancement of the robot. Then there's also the mission pad. The mission pad is not part of the robot, but it's part of the challenges of the robot. Every single challenge that you do is done on top of the mission pad. The mission pad is a very easy thing to understand and it's very useful. Now let's talk about programming in EV3. The programming in EV3 is very easy because there's a drag and drop software. You can make the program on any device, but you have to have the software installed. You can also program on the brick using like the buttons on the intelligent brick and everything. Then after building your robot, once you start programming it, there's going to be like sections, there's going to be color-coded sections, which makes it way easier to find the blocks that are sorted into them to connect to the main programming page, which makes it easier to understand the whole thing. So as you see on this slide over here, That's like the blank screen when you open programming in EV3 Home Edition. So as you see over here, this green start button kind of thing, that's where you place all the blocks from here and drag them up here. And then when you connect it here, everything works like you want it to. Then all your current projects are shown on top of here. The projects that you have opened that moment are shown over here. Then as you see this bottom right corner on the page, on the bottom right corner, you can see every single brick that you have connected to the computer that specific moment. And then you can select one of them, and then you can just upload it using this upload button over here. And as I was talking about the color-coded sections, these are the color-coded sections that the things are sorted into. The green section is for action blocks. The orange is flow control. The yellow is sensor blocks. The red is data operations. The dark blue is advanced. And the light blue is my blocks. So you can just click on any of those sections and find the block you need. Now let's finally move on to the missions of this robot. There are 5 different missions to complete to show that you have completely understood the build and the program of EV3. In the first mission, you use an attachment called the bi-blade blender. In this mission, your robot goes towards the tire on the mission pad, sweeps it away using the bi-blade blender, returns back to its starting position, and makes a fanfare sound after it does. So as you can see over here, that is what the bi-blade blender looks like, and that is the programming of this robot. For this mission specifically. So this you can see over here is like the screen display of the brick. And then the large motor sign looks like this, and then the large motor moves forward around like 75 measures. And then the medium motor is what the bi-blade blender is connected to. So when the medium motor rotates, this thing rotates and it sweeps away the block. So this block tells it the medium motor to rotate for a while, and the large motor reverses back, and the sound block is for the fanfare sound. Now let's watch a short video on how the robot completes this mission. Great, so now we'll move on to the second mission of the tracker. The second mission uses the attachment called the blasting bazooka. In this mission, the robot stays on its starting position and never moves. It just turns towards one of the stack of tires, shoots at it with the blasting bazooka, and hits the top tire of the stack. Then the robot turns towards the other stack of tires, shoots at them twice this time, and then ends it off with making a laughing sound. Now let's watch a short video on how the robot completes this mission. Okay, as you saw, the robot did everything like I said it would. And this program is what makes the robot follow the instructions. This is for the screen display again, which makes it pinch left. And the large motor makes the robot turn left a little. And then the medium motor rotates, which makes the robot shoot again. This time it shoots once, and it hits the tire. Then the pinch left, then the screen display changes. Then the robot's large motor makes it turn right, and then the medium motor has the medium motor rotates, which makes the blasting bazooka shoot. Then the screen display changes towards the middle. The large motor turns towards the middle, and the end off with the laughing sound. Now let's move on to the third mission of EV3 Robotics Tracker. Its mission uses the attachment called the Gripper Claw. In this mission, the robot goes towards a tire, picks it up using the Gripper Claw, turns right and places it inside a square, goes back, repeats it with another tire, then returns to its original position and makes a cheering sound. Now let's watch the video on how the robot completes this mission. Okay, great. So that was a pretty cool mission. Now this code is for the third mission, but it's actually pretty long, so I'm just going to summarize it real quick. This is the medium motor, which just opens up a little, which makes it easier. And this right over here is a loop, which includes of the large motor moving, the medium motor gripping. And when it grips, as you saw in the video, there's like an air brake kind of sound. So that's what comes from the sound block. Then the large motor turns right. Then the medium motor drops. The air release sound comes when you drop. And then the large motor turns back. And then this is repeated again. Then the large motor goes all the way back. And then there's a cheering sound to end off this mission. Now let's talk about the fourth mission in the EV3 tracker. It's called the Heavy Hammer. In this Heavy Hammer mission, the bot has a hammer attached to it to protect it from back ambushes. In this mission, the bot moves around crazily, just doesn't care where it's moving. Then when you put something in front of the IR sensor, the bot turns around when the IR sensor senses it. The hammer smashes and the bot makes a laughing sound. Now let's watch a video on how this crazy robot completes this crazy mission. Great. So as you saw, that was the fourth mission, one of the last ones. This one is also a pretty big program for the fourth mission. So I'm just summarize it real quick. So that's the large motor moving around crazy. Then the screen display changes to crazy. And then when the large motor turns when the IR sensor senses something. And that's when the robot's screen display changes to angry. And then the robot tells the medium motor rotates, which makes the hammer smash. Then the robot makes a laughing sound, and this repeats as many times as the IR sensor senses something. Now this is the fifth and final mission of the tracker. In this mission, the robot starts the bi-blade blender and it just keeps on rotating. Then the robot follows the IR beacon's instructions, which I will be controlling as you'll see in the video. Then, the robot makes a fanfare sound every time it hits the first and the third tire. Because those tires are placed under colored blocks. And the color sensor is used to sense these colors every time the tire is swept away. Which makes the fanfare sound. Then, the robot makes a cheering sound in the last tire. Which again is because of the color sensor. And then, it makes an alarm kind of sound when time runs out for hitting a tire. I wasn't really good at the IR beacon, so that's why this mission will look kind of crazy, but watch the video. So as you saw, that mission was pretty crazy and it was going very crazy and the robot was going all around. But I'm not a master at controlling the beacon yet, that's why. So sorry about that. But as you see, there's three things going on for the code in the fifth mission at the same time. First, there's like a time trial, which is like a timer set. Then this second row over here is for like the alarm sounding. And the third row is for like the medium motor, the screen display, and the sound kind of stuff. And thanks for watching.